The May Spellbinders kits are available and they are a fun mix of thank the teacher and home designs. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing each and every one of the Spellbinders May kit clubs. That's a lot, so we're gonna just jump right in and I'll share what those new kit clubs are as we go. First, let's start with the Glimmer of the Month. The Glimmer of the Month is that large plate that shows a bunch of pencils. You can see I'm using black cardstock here, not the Glimmer specialty cardstock, and I'm using the white Glimmer foil. I have never used the white before. It is fantastic. Check out how opaque that looks on the black cardstock. So I decided to also do the same exact thing with the sentiments that come in the Glimmer kit of the month. There are several sentiments that you can use, and look at how great those look. It's like an easier white embossing powder without the stray little pieces of embossing powder, so I really love it. Here we have the embossing folder of the month, and I just wanted to ink blend over the top since I had embossed a piece of white cardstock so that you could see what it looks like. It's kind of an abstract, subtle look to a background, but it is really nice to use on a lot of different cards. For the 3D embossing folder, it's more specific. It is a stack of books. Here's an all-to-new gold ink pad that I recently purchased, and I'll just rub that on top of the dark blue cardstock from Spellbinders. This is the Cosmic Sky cardstock, just so that those books stand out a little bit more. You've seen me do this with white pigment ink. I thought that this gold ink would be really pretty as well, and I do like the way that that turns out, so that's a good thing to use on 3D embossing folders. Next up, we have the small die of the month. So the sentiments are actually books. You can layer them on top of each other and create a bunch of different sentiments. And the little die is an apple. You can also add a graduation cap. There are glasses, wireframe glasses that you can add, and a small pencil that you can put together. It is 3 little pieces that you put together so that you can see the point of the pencil, the wood of the pencil, and then the yellow part of the pencil as well. So lots of little options here, as well as little leaves and a stem for the apple. Here's one of the stencils of the month. This one is just a basic abstract background, and you can use that for lots of different cards. The second one is a layering stencil set. So this all comes in the stencil of the month. And the second one, the second set of stencils that comes in the stencil of the month is a layering stencil for tiny pencils. So I'm doing a bunch of different colors. I did do a background with more traditional colors, but I liked this fun background as well. Here we have the wax seal of the month. I'm using a couple of different colors here from one of the mixed beads set, and I'll just pour that out once it is melted. Whenever I create a marbleized effect, I like to use the non-spoon side of the silicone spoons from Spellbinders. Just place that down, and this month's wax seal of the month is a sentiment seal that says, "So very proud of you." So perfect, again, for graduation cards, things like that. And I do like to add a little bit of a metallic pen on top so that those letters really do stand out. I decided to also grab the black wax because I thought it would be really great to match with, say, the black graduation cap, or just to have it really stand out between the black wax and then this gold pen. Here's the Better Press of the month. You get an entire panel as well as a couple of sentiments, and the panel is script letters of the alphabet. To get the full bleed effect, I put a small roll of tape behind an A2 piece of white Better Press cardstock, and then I use different inks all the time. This time I'm using Catherine Pooler's Blue Raspberry ink, but for the sentiments, I will use the Spellbinders Better Press black ink. And there you have it. You complete my alphabet from A to Z, you inspire me. There's also a die that comes with it so that you can cut those out into sentiment strips. Don't forget that you can always use your Better Press pleats in your Glimmer machine with foil as well. This is one of my favorite things to do. So I have a gold foil here background. I think this would be a great subtle background for lots of different cards, but it is really perfect for, again, meet the teacher or thank the teacher and graduation cards and things like that. Here's the stitching die of the month. Here's where we move into more of the home aspect of this month's kit clubs. So you have this armchair that you can add stitches to. At the bottom or base of the chair, there are vertical stitches. They're pretty long, so they're pretty quick to finish up there. And then at the back of the chair, there are diagonal stitches that you can create that will create the look of an upholstered chair. So I really like that. And then you can cut out the shape of the chair without the stitching marks and glue the stitched one on top of the non-stitched one, just so that you can hide that backing. And there are other little dies in here. There are non-stitched dies like these little stack of books. There's a little carpet. There's a cat. There's a plant. And then for the chandelier, there's actually stitching on that, but again, long, easy stitches. I used gold thread for all of my stitching this month because I thought it really accented these pieces nicely. Oh, there's also a little table. It's very cute set so that you can create a little scene very easily and then just add some stitching that makes it a little extra special. The books are a layering die, so you can see you can have them layered to create different two tones of colors. Then you have the plant there that can sit on top of that. And then I have the armchair popped up on some small foam squares, and then the chandelier hanging from the ceiling, and then the cat will sit in the chair. So a really sweet scene, easy to create, and it has that extra little special addition of the stitching. And then I used one of the sentiments that I foiled with the Better Press pieces, and it says "From A to Z, you inspire me" in gold foil. Here is the stamp set of the month. This is the clear stamp. You can create a bunch of different crayons, and the crayons are layerable so that you can have 3 different colors on them. There's also sentiments, and for these crayons, there's also little arms and legs and faces. So you can do the crayons without those, absolutely, or you can add these cute little faces and legs and arms, and then the coordinating dies will cut everything out, the sentiments as well as the crayons with or without their little arms and legs. So I am placing them popped up on that embossed background that I created with a rainbow of ink on the background. And this one says, "You're the brightest crayon I know." Such a great little sentiment for these cards. The bonus this month for buying all of the kit clubs is this cute little die set. It is again crayons. It is again layerable, but this time dies instead of stamps. So there are the arms and the legs. You can see them on the right hand side there at the top, and little faces. But for this one, I decided to just go with straight crayons. And then remember that Glimmer kit of the month, I decided to use the black and white there, so I used those sentiments for this card. The Glimmer also has a die in it that you can cut out those pencils individually. So I did cut a couple of them out and used one here with the Better Press background. And then I have a few of them that I did not cut out that were left over. So I decided to adhere that down to a nice light blue piece of cardstock here, and then place the Congrats book, which is the one from the small die, and the apple, which is also from the small die, on top of that. So you can see a lot of these will work really well together. And then I have the Better Press background that I foiled in gold foil. I'll cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4, add a little bit of tape runner. I should have done this part first. I wanted to add a little bit of wrapped thread, that gold thread around it. So I decided to wrap it a few times and then place that down on the black cardstock mat, and then I'll cut that thread and tie it off. Next, I'll take some adhesive and place it down, and then I use the wax seal right on top to trap those threads, those extra threads, and then popped up one of the pencils next to that, and it says, "So very proud of you." Here's the other stenciled background that I created with a more traditional color combination of pencils. I'll cut that down a little bit so that I can place a sentiment right in between the white cardstock and the stencil. It just gives a little rest to the eye if you don't use the entire stenciled background. Here I will use the entire stenciled background, but then I'll cut a piece of the 3D embossed cardstock and place that at the bottom. I then added a sentiment from the Glimmer kit and then a dot of adhesive so I can add one of the wax seals. So this one card has a stenciled background, an embossed background, a Glimmer kit sentiment, and a wax seal. Here's that other type of stenciled background with the pencils that I created with a different color combination. I'll place that on a better pressed background and then just add a sentiment from the better press as well. Next, we have the large die of the month. This is a really fun die set. It is a die set that will create a fridge, and then there are all these accessories like shelves and handles and magnets and small pieces of paper. There's also a little Polaroid frame, and the inside of the frame cuts out as well so that you can add maybe a little bit of coloring. So I have like a little bit of sky and grass on mine, and then you just layer it on top of the other piece to create your little Polaroid frame. Such cute little accessories. So here's the fridge shape. I cut it out twice. There's a tab on the left-hand side, so I'll bend it so that I have it nice and bent so that it will adhere easily and then bend down easily. And then I'll use some of the double-sided tape. And whenever I use double-sided tape, I use this tool from Polka Doodles, which you can burnish on one side, and then there's like a little scrubby side that you can just scrub at the liner, and it peels off that liner so much easier than trying to grab it with your fingernail. So I absolutely love this tool. I know a lot of people have purchased it as well, and they seem to really love it as well. So this is definitely one, if you do a lot of double-sided tape, this is something you probably need to have in your stash to make it just easier for yourself. So once those two pieces are adhered together, then I'm using this as my card base. There's also a die set that has little letters on it, and those are like those little magnet letters that you can get. So you can spell out anything you want, and I'm spelling out treat yourself because I'm going to turn this into a gift card holder as well. I'll add the little magnets and things on the front of the fridge and then open it up, and on the left-hand side, I'll add the shelves. This is an extra die, not the bonus die that comes with the whole kit and caboodle, but an extra die set that you can add a la carte to your order, and it has all kinds of little things that would come inside a fridge. And again, these are layering dies, so you can cut them out of 2 colors or 3 colors of cardstock and create more realistic looks. There's a little mayonnaise bottle, ketchup bottle, soda bottle, there's a carton of eggs, there's a wine bottle, a carton of milk, a little jelly jar, and a water bottle. And just, they look so cute. I love little items like this that you can add to a card to make it look really realistic. So I adhered down the sides of the shelf so that I could tuck all these things into the shelf so it looks like they're sitting inside the door of your fridge. Once that's done, I grab the Spellbinders gift card pockets. This is not something that comes with the kits or anything. This is just something I purchased on my own, and I'll just adhere it down. They're self-adhesive, so you just peel it off and stick it down and then slide your gift card inside, which I think makes it so much easier than having to create your own pocket. Plus, they can see the gift card. So it's just a really nice thing to have if you like giving gift cards inside your greeting cards. This was such a fun mix of stamps and dies and stencils and wax seals and embossing folders that I really had a hard time picking my favorite. But I'd love to hear if you had a favorite this month. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. That was probably the fastest that I've ever done one of these.